Hey y'all, appreciate y'all coming back and sticking around for 2 weeks with us not putting no videos out. And this is the reason why there's not been any videos put into play. We've been behind the scenes working on rebuilding this truck for our youngest son. In 2015, he graduated school and he was in a vehicle accident. He was sitting in a stop sign and the guy rear-ended him. So anyhow, he lost his main ride. He was starting his adult life. So it's been 10 years later, and we reincarnated this truck into be the Roxanne. That's what he called the other truck. So this is Roxanne the second. Yeah. And this was the original truck, which y'all will see later on in the video, but it's in a wrecked version. This was it at Daytona. And this was it at Prom. So anyhow, he purchased it. We built this truck for our oldest son, and then the youngest son purchased it from him. So, not this truck, but the first truck. So anyhow, we decided that since he just has closing on he bought him a lake house in Georgia, and he's closing on his house the end of the week. So we figured we'd have this done by the closing date, so he'd get two surprises. He'd get a new house, and he would get his truck back. So stay tuned to the end of the video and see his surprise of the new house and the truck being presented. There you go, presented, given to him, and see his reaction. So, but it took longer than what we expected because we've run into all kinds of technical difficulties. So anyhow, watch the video. Stay tuned to the end, like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Here's the S10 that we're going to turn into Roxanne the second. It won't start, so we believe the fuel pump's bad in it. We're going to pull it into the shop now using the forklift and get started tearing down on it. So I'll show you a video of the original Roxanne truck that's wrecked, that's parked around behind the shop in just a minute. So y'all stay tuned. And don't forget to watch all the way to the end for the big reveal. So I'm going to throw in a couple of pictures here of the original truck before we head around back and show you what it looks like after the wreck.
Okay, well this is the aftermath of the wreck. He was rear-ended by a 1500 series pickup truck. He was sitting dead stopped at a stop sign, and the guy never touched his brakes. And it destroyed the truck. So we started taking parts off of it for another truck over here, a donor truck, to be the new and improved. But this one is an older model truck. It's like an 87, 88 model. So it's got the valance underneath the grill right there. And his was a 91, which has the full grill that goes from the bumper all the way across. So in order to make this work, you got to change the core support, change the grill, change everything in it. This is a 2.8 truck. His is 4.3. So what we're going to do is use the other truck because it is close enough as a donor to the same year model. This one has Beltec spindles and has been lowered. And then this one here also had a custom speaker box. Don't know if you can see it with all jump back here, but this had a custom speaker box. and it hit so hard it busted the speaker box. So we're going to have to redo that too. So this is going to be a surprise for his birthday. He does not know it. We figured the best we could do would be to reincarnate it and make it live again. So that's what we're going to do. So follow along, stay tuned. You'll get to see us build everything back as it was. Now let's get to work.
Well, we've got the bed unbolted, so we're using the forklift. We're going to pick up the bed off and replace the fuel pump in it. Okay, well, we have switched things up a little bit. We've got the bed completely off of it. Got it moved over here to this bay so that we can pressure wash it, get it cleaned up and prepped to be sanded.
So you can walk right here around the corner and show you the original escapades. We're going to try and bring that emblem back. If we can't, we're going to take it off and just paint one on.
While I was cutting grass, he went ahead and drug the truck out of the weeds back there.
I'm going to pressure wash this and show you all that.
So this is the truck that we're going to turn that one we're working on into. At least you can see it a little better now. It's out here in the open. He was sitting completely stopped at a stop sign, and the guy hit him from behind, totaled out both trucks. Of course, he has some neck and back issues still to this day from it, but thankful it wasn't any worse than it was, and he was okay.
Black stuff is sprinkling the paint up. It's no headline, I don't know what it is. And that's some ethanol gas right there, that black crap is. There's algae that grows up. That's just what you want to see when you didn't plan on stripping something down. If somebody else didn't prep it right.
So
it's going to streak up new paint.
This is not actual bed liner. We're not sure what that is, but it's probably going to have to come off because when we paint this, we don't want it streaking up the new paint.
Having another situation there. You okay now? You need a doctor? You see somebody? Huh? Electricity getting to you?
Alright.
You finally drowned.
It's through showing out now.
You've been overworked.
Well, this is the first time it's been started since last summer.
Yeah, I had to choke it and about ripped the cord out of it trying to get the crank, and I realized it was electric.
Yep.
I'm not that stupid.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Alright, I gotta find something to set it upon so I can get the cab around here and pressure wash it. And then we'll be ready to get busy.
Okay, so let's go find something.
I didn't want to get busy. I was just talking. Golly. Oh well, Devin, you didn't see this coming and we didn't either, but we figured that since this was your first truck, we would bring it back to you. Or, not this one, but the blue and white one was your first show truck, so. I know we painted the blades and all like that, but we're gonna give this to you for your birthday. But let's get a stand and get this on so we can get the truck around here, and we'll be right back with you.
Well, we couldn't find any stands that would hold this, so we found some sawhorses out in the house, so we're just going to use that.
We run out of gas. How did it go with the Chrome Shop Mafia? Let's turn down!
Yeah. So while we're stripping it down, we're going to go ahead and fix some of the dents in it. And there's some dents up here in the hood. That'll need some Bondo.
Looks like somebody got up there and did.
I still want to say hood. Oh my gosh.
You in the hood?
I meant roof. I'll get it out in a minute. Get it out in a minute.
But I meant. Yeah, last time I got up here and did a tap dance on the roof of it. It's going to have to be beat out and skim coated. But the only bad thing about it is this truck, I'll show you here in a minute. There's a little something extra that goes in the back of the cab back here. It's not favorable to Bondo. It really ain't favorable to anything that's don't flex. And that one there has got damage to it, but we're going to see if we can hopefully try and reincarnate it without having to rebuild it. Because that takes a minute. And you don't really have many minutes.
Oh
in
my
the truck.
gosh.
Did you get PB Blaster?
Who had PB Blaster?
Camera spots? I mean PB. Purple Power, yeah.
See, you're as bad as I am. We just can't talk today.
If you need some help, call somebody else. Whoopi done told them that you're doing fine, dandy. 911. I don't know why I called you. No, thanks for checking in.
Alright, he's talking about this custom speaker box here. Takes up the whole extra cab part of the truck. It's all fiberglass. I think it had 15s in it. So, it got busted in the wreck from the impact, so he might, depending on how much time we have, he may take that out and see if we can fix it and go ahead and put it in the back of the oven.
To make up from scratch, it takes a minute. And all the interior has to be out of the truck, and the driver's side, the passenger side door has to be taken off to do it. So I think it's best to go ahead and do it when it's being painted instead of painting and then trying to take the door off and screw everything up. So this is what he's been wanting to do for a while now and just ain't been able to, so we're going to do it for him.
He has absolutely no idea.
Yeah, he don't know nothing's going on. So if we don't make it, it won't be a surprise because he won't know it never was a surprise. And if we do make it, it'll be a surprise for all of us. Alright, well now that it's washed, we're going to get everything in the shop stripped down and ready to start the painting process. So, let's get this pushed in and get the other truck around here so we can get parts off of it and we'll be ready to ride.
He's pulling this around here so we can get some parts off of it. We may switch out the driver's doors and see if we can get that speaker box out and see if it's fixable or not. Don't scratch it now. Well, it's a good thing we didn't scrap those yet. Came in handy. I said it's a good thing we didn't scrap those yet.
Alright, we're in the process of stripping the whole paint off. We haven't found any Bondo yet. And this rubber stuff, whatever it was, looks like something you buy at a part store for bed liner. Anyhow, it's coming off pretty easy too, so that's a plus. We're going to keep scraping this. And we're going to prep it after we get it scraped. But like I said, lucky so far that I haven't found any Bondo.
Let's see what he's got going on now. So what are you doing now?
Well,
So you got all the paint scraped off?
yeah, we scraped it off last night with a razor blade. It's a whole lot easier to do it that way and cheaper. Because sandpaper is $1 and something a sheet, and razor blades ain't but like, I don't know, 2 cents a piece. But I did all this with one razor blade. But anyhow,
So
what
what
we
are
got
you
to
doing
do.
up here?
There's dents up here, and they were filled in with Bondo. So I'm going to take the stud gun and pull them back out. And then this is where a toolbox or something was bolted down, and they had them full of Bondo. So I'm going to take and weld them up and grind them back down smooth. And it's having to go a little further than what we intended to, but it'll be worth it in the end. I reckon he'll appreciate it. But there's already a skim coat of Bondo on the truck, and this side was full of dents. So, and so is the roof. I don't know if you can see that from here, but the roof is in rough shape. But yeah, that's where we're at today. We're just gonna work on the bed and get done with it, and start on the cab, and see how this project takes place. But we figured we would do this for him. And it's taking, like I said, a little more than what we intended, but right now he's saving his money to try and purchase a house. So he don't have no spare money to play with this, and this is running. So we figured we'll go ahead and get started on it before it went too far. And this will give y'all some content, plus give him a surprise. So let's get back to work on it, because timeline is knocking down minutes as we speak.
Well, he's taking the hood off now so that we can put this one back on the truck outside. And we're going to put the cowl hood that was on this one that was wrecked back on it. So about to switch that out before it starts raining here. Alright, here's the other hood. He's going to switch it out real quick. Well, that saves you a minute or two.
Yeah, just a minute or two. But that's how it works. You just weld little studs on it, and then you take your dent puller and pull the dents out. And then you don't have such a big hole to fill up with Bondo. So it makes for a better job.
I'll show you this side. He's already got the dents fixed and the Bondo on it.
Can't keep everything in motion. We still, after $500, we can't find the first one. How many dollars?
He said dollar, not dollars. We can't find $500 either.
Yeah, I ain't found the $500. Dollies, metal dollies. What you do is you pull pull it up and you tap around on a dent. That way you don't have no high spots. You can see how that one dipped in, I think. Maybe, maybe not. You take and you put that on it.
Right there.
And just go. When you pull it too much like that right there and you get a dimple in it, what you can do is take your body hammer, bend that over and tap the side of it. And hit directly down on the pin too. And it all comes back into congruence. Congruence, I said.
That's a big word.
Yeah. 50-cent word on $10, 10-cent a night. But that's how you do it. And then whenever you get it, all your dents pulled out, you take and snip these off and grind it down, and you never know it's been done. We're gonna weld this here up. And proceed to proceed.
Alright, well I've got most of the scraping done on the truck. The areas left I've got to go over with a sander, so I'm about to do that now. So, figured I would see where he's at on the bed here. So the Bondo finally dried?
Yeah, fine. Mother Nature playing havoc on it.
Yeah, it started raining last night, so the Bondo didn't want to dry.
The other side sanded over, finished.
So this side turned out really smooth, so trying to get the other one smoothed out so we can shoot some primer on it.
You about got all your scraping done?
Yeah, as much as I can. The rest of it I've got to sand off with the sander.
Nice and shiny from the factory, wasn't it? That seal coat.
So yeah, I'm about to get started on that now. Well, while we're taking the truck apart, we noticed this when we were sanding, but the door has a crack in it right there, so it's busted. And it's also busted on the inside. So we were going to use the door off of the original truck, but it's got some damage to it too. So he's disassembling this one, and he's going to weld up those areas and get all that fixed so that we can just use the one that's on here.
Look on the inside in here.
Here, I'll let you, because I can't get around there.
Yeah, we just got some minute damage, and what happens to these little trucks is the door pins wear out, and people take and slam the door right here with their hand. They push right there, and that's what causes that to break. And that's what causes the inside to break. So we'll take all that apart and get it fixed. And there's where somebody tried to slim jim it, looks like, but they went on the wrong side of the door, slim jim it. No worries, the door's got to come off of it anyhow because I got to put pins in it and bushings. So what we'll do is we'll take the door off, we'll sit it on a stand, because right here, if you notice, the paint's flaking off of it. So that means I got to paint these doors too.
Yeah.
But ain't the first time that we've had one of these tore apart and put back together. And I used to do this stuff in one day. They'd drive a truck in, I'd pull the 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder out of it and put a V8 in it. That's back before I had exhaust equipment. But I put a V8 in it and paint it, and it'd be ready to ride by lunchtime next day. But them days are behind me now. That's all I can do to drink a V8 and hold it down. If you'll notice, the backside of the cab's got ripples and bend in it. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but it looks like it might have been ran into before by a four-wheeler or who knows what. So we'll get all that pushed out. I've got some of the dents worked out in the roof. Don't know if you can see them or not. Well, you can see the light straight now. Before it had a big rainbow right there and a big rainbow right there. So we ain't gonna sand nor do nothing to the roof of it yet until I get all that done. But like I said, you can see the light walking back across it right there. But anytime you're doing body work to where you want a straight edge, if you get a fluorescent and set it up beside your work, you can use it just like that right there. That's a pretty good example. The camera picks that up real good. All right, we're gonna get back to work, tearing this thing the rest of the way apart. We'll get you some more video here in just a minute.
All right, figured I'd show you where we were at on Roxanne. Got the driver's side fender and door sanded. He got the welding done where the door was broken here. It was also broke there and on the inside. So he went ahead and welded all that up. He's got to clean up those weld spots. We got to move on around here to the back side. We did go ahead and take out the windows out of both doors and the back glass out because the paint was coming off from around the seal. So went ahead and took that out, and he straightened up some of the damage on the back of the truck, of the cab. Still has a little more work to do there. And we still have to do a little bit of body work on that door to fix those dents that was in there. He's working on the front fender now. So we're moving right along on it. Going to go tomorrow and get the paint and primer for it. And a couple other little things we found that it needs. Gotta do some body work still to the bed. Haven't got back on that yet.
Yeah, gotta do some body work to the cab. We want to take doors off and paint the door jambs because the paint's peeling off of them. So it's the gift that keeps giving. But we gotta go to the junkyard and see if we can find a headliner for it. Because the new one online is $400 and something, so we just can't handle that right now.
And this one doesn't have one. We didn't realize that till we moved it around here.
Oh, and we want to give a shout out, which has been a day or two, and it'll be a day or two before y'all see this video. Well, matter of fact, it'll be 2 weeks. Well,
who knows?
Yeah, it'll be a little over right at 2 weeks. But we want to thank y'all for helping us reach over 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we can't believe it.
So we gratefully appreciate that. We got some content coming. We got a truck, which you'll see the video. By the time this video comes out, you'll be seeing the video on the square body we've been working on. So we're doing 2 trucks at one time. So it's crunch time. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
It is.
I'm going to get back to grinding paint off. And we'll give y'all another update here when we get something else accomplished.
Well, we got the speaker box out of this truck here to take it out to see if it was busted so that we thought we might be able to just repair it and put it right back in the truck. But as you can see, it's not fixable. Evidently that back glass leaked, probably from the wreck, and has destroyed the speaker box. But it's not a big deal because the fiberglass part, it does have a crack right there, but we can fix that. So we're going to see if we can tear this thing apart and use probably some wood that we've got here at the shop to rebuild this. But yeah, it's disintegrating there. So we're gonna see if we can round up enough wood to rebuild this box, and we're gonna have to see if we can got some speakers on hand for it. All right, after getting the trucks moved around, we got Rodney's on the other side of the shop and got the S10 over here. So we're going to continue on sanding. He was able to get some of the dents and ripples out of the roof of it before we moved it over here. So we're going to keep on sanding on it. Got the bed over here on the dolly.
I gotta take the passenger off and do it the same way I did this one. And when I do, then the speaker box can go in it. And it'll be mounted. But we gotta do some work on the speaker box because when it got wrecked in the other truck, it got busted. Number one, and number two, the back glass leaked from where it wasn't sealed right no more.
Yep, I've already videoed that, so
it made its demise with Mother Nature.
Well, he got the top of the cab finished. It's got half of the skim coat on, working on the rest of it. Did all the dents come out?
I had to heat treat the roof of it. So.
Yeah, the what?
I had to heat treat the roof of it because it was tin canning real bad from where it had been caved in and popped back out. So got all that done. But I got to float the whole roof out with Bondo, which is going to be a small, thin skim coat. But got to do that to get all the dents out of it. Always something. Let me mix up some more Bondo and I'll be right back. Yeah, well, I don't know if this is the last skim coat I'm going to put on this go around and I'm going to sand it. Let me see what we got left. It ain't that thick. It's got fiberglass resin in it, so it makes it lay down, makes it flow out and lay in all the low spots easy. Anytime you float a roof system out, I always pull your mud with the dents. That way you can see them better. If you pull them against them, you create a shadow, so then you can start working against yourself. I don't know how good the camera's picking that up, but I can actually see the dents. This getting filled in with Bondo as I'm spreading, so that's what you want to do, is be able to see what you're doing. Yeah, that looks a whole lot flatter. Shine the camera across and see. It's more better than what it was.
More better.
Spot welder and spot weld some pins on the back of it to be able to pull the back of the cab out. You always want to find your low spot, or the lowest spot, and work your way in. That way you make sure you get all your surface area pulled. You let it cool off. Pull your dent out if you take a body hammer and tap around it, you'll tighten the metal up. And what this did is whenever it pushed it in, I had to pull it out because it was bowed in. And it crinks it right here. You can see the dents right there. That's where your back glass goes. So what you want to do, you don't mess with that right now. That's to be your last process. But what you do is whenever you're pulling on this, you hook your stud puller to it, and you tap on and you hold pressure against it. And you hear how the metal has a echoey sound to it. That means that it's under pressure. Since I got both of those pulled out, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna correct this gap here. We're gonna move to this one. Like I said, that was the deepest hole right there, so you don't want to do it first. You want to go down here and work your way up. And you can see the hole back in the cab flex. I doubt you can see it on camera, but each one pulled out in there about flush.
Well, we're back out here. We got the roll pan welded on and got some fiberglass on it. So once that dries, we'll finish up the body work on that. Got some Bondo wiped on a couple of spots here. And got the top of the truck, top of the cab, sanded. Put the skim coat of Bondo on that. Got that sanded as well. And that was not fun. So we're moving right along on here. Got the skim coat of Bondo across the back where those dents were removed there. I think we're going to take the back glasses out since that one on the driver's side's leaking, so we've still got to do that. We've already got the paint for the truck. We're hoping that it matches up pretty good. Since we didn't have a code for it, we had to take the old gas cap off of this truck for them to match it.
Satisfying.
So satisfying. Maybe to watch, not to do. People don't realize how much work goes into paint and body work.
No.
Especially if you're a perfectionist. While he's doing that, I'm gonna get back to sanding, so we've still got a lot to do, and today's Monday. So let's get to it. We finally got the hood and the bed ready to shoot some primer on. So we've got them in here in the paint booth. Got them degreased and wiped down. He's mixing up the primer now. So we're about to get these primed, and next we'll be sanding again.
I can sing all them songs about Texas.
You're on video, sir. While the parts are drying in the paint booth that we just primed, he had the bright idea of putting the truck up on this dolly here with the forklift. So it'll be easier to get to, easier to prime and paint, and we can just roll it on in the paint booth. Took the tires and wheels off of it, so we didn't have to worry about covering those up. So we're going to start taping that up now. While we're waiting on primered parts to dry, I'll show you where we're at on the cab. We got everything taped off, left the windshield in it, as you already know, took both doors off, took the glass out of the extended cab part and the back glass so that we can make sure everything around those are sanded and will get sealed back in correctly. Can't wait to see Devin's reaction when we get finished with it. So let's get busy. All right, we finally got the truck and the other door into the paint booth, ready for primer. It's only almost 4 a.m. on, I think, Wednesday. I don't know, all of our days are running together, it seems like. But we're about to wipe it down with degreaser, dry it off, and it'll be ready to spray. Starting to spray the primer. I'll come in here for a minute. We just got finished spraying the cab and the door. It's 4:30 in the morning now, so that'll have to dry for about 2 hours before we can sand it, see how everything looks. So the bed has got the second coat of primer on it. We haven't started sanding on it yet, but it looks pretty good. And there's the door. Already sanded this one time. Got to go back over it with 1000 grit. So we'll probably work out here maybe another hour or two, see how that primer turns out, catch us a couple of minutes of sleep, and get started on all this in the morning. Well, it is morning, but in a couple of hours. Well, it's getting closer to 7 a.m. We're still out here. So how'd your parts turn out?
Yep, if the truck runs as good as they do, then it'll be a good running truck.
Is it that bad?
Well, I've seen worse.
You seen better?
Well, the truck and Dolly Parton get along together.
What? We're not gonna go there.
Well,
I guess I'll go in here and check it out.
Show them the runs.
Runs and ripples. But we had some old activator, is what that turned out to be, that he used in the first batch. Opened the new can of activator, and then everything else turned out good, right?
Yep. All right, then.
Well, it's about time to go to sleep for an hour or two, so I'm gonna go video the parts, and we're gonna go to sleep.
You do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a 10-100.
Better than a 10-200.
That's what I say.
Alright, gonna show you the parts before we go get some rest. So, both front fenders have some runs in it. Not sure how much you can see from the lights in here, but the rest of it turned out pretty good. So we'll go around here, show you the passenger side. Got some runs here in the front and some back here. no runs where the new activator got sprayed, so all those should sand out, so we'll get started on that in a couple of hours.
It's Friday after 5. I just got done in time to go in the paint booth to spray this truck one more time. My arms are getting tired from going sanding up, down, and wipe it off one more time, up and down, up and down.
Woohoo! That was good. You was a poet and didn't know it.
Yep. Oh man, pain, despair, and agony on you all. Yep.
I liked your other song better than that.
All part of life. But it won't get done if you don't do it. So don't sell any projects. If you do, you'll leave dents in them. Oh.
So once this is degreased and dried, sprayed, then we gotta wait 2 hours before we can resand it.
Which will be 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Y'all come back now here. Bring sandpaper when you come. And a dust mask. We'll put you to work.
Well, we've got the truck back inside the paint booth, got all the primer sanded, got it retaped, and he's coming in now with the doors. So we're gonna paint the door jambs white, and then let that dry. Then we're gonna tape everything off, paint the blue, and then he'll paint the rest of the white on the remaining part of the truck. Okay, the white paint has dried on the door jambs, so we got the doors hung. Now we're trying to figure out how we're going to get the rest of the parts to all fit in here since the bed's off of it. Wide load. You think it's all going to fit in here?
It's gonna be entertaining, that's for sure.
And Devin still has no idea that we're doing this, so.
Yeah, so y'all don't tell him. Those corners.
Very close.
Oh, man.
Think you can make it work?
Yeah, one way or the other.
Well, he started spraying the first coat of blue on there. We weren't sure how close it was going to match the original color on the truck because we didn't have a code, so it looks pretty good from outside the paint booth. We're hoping it's close. We've been pulling some all-nighters getting this thing ready. Okay, he's putting the second coat on in blue. Well, it's about halfway there, y'all. The blue is dry, so I figured I would give you a walk around, let you know how things are looking so far. We're gonna start getting this masked off, and then he can spray the white on there. Once the white's dry, then you'll have to spray the clear on there. So everything is looking really good so far. Have a couple of hours of work ahead of us. It's already about 1 in the morning now. Show you the passenger side real quick. So we're gonna grab our paper and tape and get to masking this off and getting it ready for the white. The taping process has begun. Now time for paper. I told him he would be a good Christmas package wrapper-upper. He says no. He's so precise with his tape work. Well, we're gonna finish this up. We'll probably show you what it looks like once it's all taped up before he sprays the white. Well, after we got the cab and the bed masked off, he is getting the white paint mixed up and getting it ready to spray on there next. We moved the hood and the valence panel outside of the paint booth so that we can get it masked off out there. Because of that cowl hood, it'll just be easier to have more space, and it'll be easier for him to have a little more space here in the paint booth. So it's about 3:30 in the morning. So we're gonna be out here for a little while. Okay, he has started painting on the white. It's 3:45 right now. Yeah, he's always loved surprising people with vehicles, either giving them vehicles or painting them, customizing them. He gave my daddy a car years ago. We didn't do any paint work or anything to it, but he gave his dad a 56 Chevy for his 60th birthday. He had restored that car back in the 90s for a good friend of his, since he has since passed away, but he bought it from his friend and gave it to his dad, took it over to Pigeon Forge to the rod run, and when they came up, we had a big bow on it. That was years ago before we videoed, so we probably have some pictures somewhere, but so he's always loved to surprise people. And he doesn't ask for anything in return. He just enjoys helping. Alright, he just refilled. He said that this white paint is not covering well at all, so we hope we have enough paint because we only bought a gallon. But he's not liking it. He's got the white finished up now. It's been drying for a few minutes, so this is the first time I've came in here to take a look at it. And he's not happy with the paint. He said that it lays down good on the truck, but it doesn't cover that good at all. So I'm gonna have to go around and see if there's any spots that may not have covered up well or needs anything done to them. Go out there and get my flashlight and go over it real good. So here's a close-up of the hood. He's taping off the blue now. The rest of it will be painted white. So it's now 5:13 in the morning. So he only has a couple, what, another hour that you need to get this cleared. So we're gonna get this finished up. We gotta move the parts in the paint booth out here so we can get this inside to spray the white, and then put it all back in there and spray the clear. So.
And tomorrow's his birthday.
Yep. So the deadline is here.
Yeah, we didn't look at the pigeon forward, so we're gonna give it to him there. That didn't work out. So I guess we'll give it to him here.
Or we'll take it there. I'm not sure yet. We got the truck moved out here. Got the hood and valence panel put inside the paint booth so he could spray the white on it. Didn't want to get any overspray on the already painted parts, so switched them out real quick. Gotta let this dry, and then we'll be able to untape everything and he can spray the clear on there. It'll most likely be after 6 a.m. Yeah, it's 5:43 now, so it'll be after 6 a.m. before he gets those the clear sprayed on there. But everything's looking good, so we're about ready to unwrap it and see what it all looks like. Well, while the hood's drying, he's going to untape a spot here on the fender and see how it's looking. Hey, it looks blue.
Yellow.
Yellow. And it's just started raining. We thought we had missed the rain storm that was coming through, but hopefully that won't affect the clear. He may have to turn the heater on in the paint booth because it has cooled off a lot since it started raining.
It's a yellow pinstripe.
How clean that looks. Well, there is one fender. Yeah, those two colors just look so clean together. What you think?
Yeah.
So pretty.
Yeah.
I want to call him and tell him.
No.
I'm not.
I figured it was 10 years ago that all this took place. So I figured it won't better on the anniversary of it than to give him his truck back. And it wasn't his fault.
No.
He was abiding by the law. He stopped. But nobody died, so we can build vehicles all day long. But there you go.
Well, that's just a little sneak
Teaser.
peek. Yeah, teaser of
What's to come?
what we're going to be unwrapping.
So in 20 minutes when that cures, we'll be throwing the coat on it. We'll be untaping this and untaping that. And clearing all of it. And we'll bring you back for that episode. Still all fresh, so that's, you can turn it loose.
We don't want that.
And then you can have a mess on your hands.
Ooh, look at that. Sweet. It is straight up 6 a.m. right now.
Yep.
Well, it's looking awesome.
We'll get that done and we'll bring you back.
Well, it is 7:20 in the morning and white paint's finally dried. Took a little bit longer, I think because the temperature dropped a little bit. So he's untaping it now. There it is.
Yep, in all its infamous glory.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah, I am too, but the job's got to be finished.
The show must go on.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get the parts moved around again, bring the truck back inside, get everything arranged so he can spray the clear on it. We may or may not eat some breakfast before we call it a day, which is really a night for us, but sun's up, so it's daytime.
The other birds are screaming outside.
So now it's time for the switcheroo
Yep.
and then the clear.
Yep. Yep. Fun times to be had.
Always. We've got the truck back in the paint booth now. Turned it around going out of the paint booth so he can open the doors on it and get around it maybe a little easier than before. Got the hood and the bed back in here. We're gonna wipe everything down and he's gonna get started spraying the clear on it. Well, it's now 8:15 a.m. We still have not went to bed. He's about to clear the parts though, so if everything goes well, after he sprays the first coat, he'll have to wait, spray the second coat, and then maybe we can go get some rest. Well, we brought the old truck in here. We're gonna put it on some jack stands and get the suspension out from under it so we can use the spindles and everything under the new truck, the new old truck. We've still got Rodney's truck over at the lift, so putting it on jack stands, that makes it be a little more accessible.
And still waiting on parts for that one. Getting too old for all this crap.
walk over here to the paint booth and check out the truck. Finally got it painted somewhere about 8 a.m. or after, between 8 and 9 this morning. That's when he got the final coat of clear on it. And there it is. It's looking good. Now it's all shiny. So we'll work on getting the suspension parts out from under the old truck while this one sits in here. And once we're ready, we'll get all of these parts pulled out, put back out here in the shop, and we'll start reassembling everything. What you got going on out here?
Well, the speaker box was rotten. So I wanted to save this top because a bunch of work went into it. Number one. And number two, it kind of goes with the original truck. But the problem I'm having is this board, don't really know what it is. But anyhow, apparently I either cut grooves in it. I did something to make the fiberglass bond to it, and it bonded real well. So this top piece is rotted, piece of wood, but the fiberglass is not. So what I'm going to wind up having to do, I think, is cut it half in two here, and then try and save the two speaker domes, and then just glass that valley back together, I think. I don't know. I'm trying to scave the wood off of it right this minute, but it ain't going too well.
More work.
Yeah. This board, and we got particle press board. That's what I always made speaker boxes out of, the smaller boxes. Anyhow, this was some of the board they built skate ramps out of, apparently. Don't really know how we wound up with this
Who
stuff.
knows? That was too long ago.
I'm gonna have to get back to cutting, I reckon. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to
Save it as one piece?
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to cut it in the middle, because what's happening is that stuff's bound so good to that wood that I can't get the wood turned loose. Sawzall won't even cut through it. It's just burning the blades up. But these are still good. So if I can just save those, I can re-sculpt them back into that wood there. But we'll get back to it and see what we can do. And we'll go from there. Don't have no to do. Keep on keeping on. There it is. I thought you knew.
Well, I see you've got it all cut apart.
Yep.
Now step away for 1 minute.
Yep, it's all day.
So that's the part we're using. Hopefully.
Is this ain't but 48 inches wide? It's 4 foot by 8 feet.
You're growing.
And everything we got
hook up.
is growing out apparently. And every measurement we got is wider than 48 inches.
Well, we got all the measurements figured out, so he is starting to build the speaker box now. Having fun yet?
Oh yeah, always.
Well, the speaker box is coming together. He's going to be gluing the other side on. And what's the next step? Cutting some patch panels?
Yeah. Okay, we got the speaker box built. We got the domes cut off the other one. We're putting them back on this one, so I'm getting everything prepared to start fiberglassing. So once I get this all ground down, we'll bring you back and show you the process of how you start matting the box together. Alright, this is short strand Dynaglass. Bondo with fiberglass hairs mixed in it. So this is what you build your base with. And then you take fiberglass cloth or mat and go over the top of this. But you always want to start with this, as you can see on this dome here. This stuff is $30 something a quart. It's $90 something a gallon. That's the reason I tried to save both of them, because like I said, if I didn't, we'd have over $500 in the speaker box. What you do is, well, here I'm having to backfill on my edges because there is gaps from where the other box was twisted and rotten. So you just pack it in until it quits going in, and then you know it's done all it's going to do. And then you just take and you run a bead right down through there like so. Like I said, this is a quart and it's already back gone. But all the edges you want to push as much up under it as you can. If you're trying to common bond something back together. And what it does, where that gap is, it'll push the fiberglass up under it. And as long as you keep working this stuff, it'll stay pliable for a minute. But if you let it just sit on this, then it'll get hard.
Like Bondo.
And you've thrown away a bunch of money. Yeah, like Bondo. Like I said, I'm just pushing it up in the crack. I'm gonna have to go mix some more. There's more voids on this side than there was that side.
You got a little carried away with the sawzall on the side.
But then when it quits going in, you just smooth it out. I'm gonna run cloth and wrap it into the box because your speakers blow air, so they try and blow out. So you gotta have it tied to the inside, that way it won't blow these cones back off or bust the box. So you want to make sure everything's glued down the best you can get it. If we didn't say this is going to be a surprise for our son, he don't know this is happening. He was just awarded a loan to buy him a house, so, and he did it all by himself with no help.
So he'll get 2 surprises.
Yeah. But he made it on his own.
Alright, well there it is at this point. He's gonna mix some more up and then we'll come back when he's ready to lay them out on there.
Alright, what I've done here, cut strips of fiberglass and I put them in here and I stapled them in place. So the staples will hold it. I'm gonna mix up some resin. And if you mix the resin hot, means it gets to I just wiped that and it's already dry. Because I mixed it hot. Just like you mix Bondo hot. And what you do is you just mix too much hardener with it. And this stuff here catch on fire though if you ain't careful. The resin will. So I'm going to put about 10 drops. Well, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, yeah.
That's about 10.
That should be about enough.
Or 12.
Or 20. But anyhow, what it does is the more you mix in it, the longer it takes, the less time it takes for it to dry. It's just like so. Just any random paintbrush. Cheaper ones are better because you're going to throw it away. And you just wipe on the resin. But you got to saturate it so it'll stick. So what you do is you pat it through once you put it on. You saturate your fiberglass real good. And you can see the white that's in it. The white's air bubbles. So once you get it all saturated, you come back and you pat all the air bubbles out. And this bonds to the wood. So like I said, that's the reason I ground the wood earlier. where the box is put together at. So you want to make sure that you got the mat laying on it
to seal it off.
to seal it off. And this right here, all it does is just seals the cone down to the box.
So, get some more resin, I guess. So that's where he's at so far.
Take that and just overlap where you just left off at. Keep right on trucking. Alright, well, we'll bring y'all back tomorrow when we start doing body work. But that's what the end result looks like. How slick it is laid down. All the air is out of it. Now all I gotta do is do the interlace, and then like I said, we just pat it back under the bottom. That way it can't push up. That's the biggest thing. You don't want it to push upwards. Well, all right, we got the fiberglass put on everything last night, inside and out, and it's all dry. So now what we're going to do is scuff it up to lay our Bondo. And all Bondo does is just smooths everything out and gives it a finish. The fiberglass is what gives it its rigidity and strength. The sander and scuff it all up and start Bondoing. So I'll bring you back whenever we get that far. Stay tuned.
How's your sculpting project coming along?
Yeah, I'm not a cake decorator, so. But that's the Bondo era of it.
So that's got to dry and then we'll smooth it out.
Well, I gotta put one more coat. I'm working on getting all the edges feathered in, but yeah.
Cool.
Pretty much that's what'll happen. All right, well, y'all fish get a bird's eye view of us sitting in the bed on the truck. What could possibly go wrong?
Don't say that.
Well, there you have it. The bed is on installed. It's beginning like a complete truck. I had to put these in there because when we picked it up, it mashed the tailgate gap shut, and I didn't want it to chip the paint off. So the tailgate gap come back, so we're good. So, and it shuts like a new truck. Ain't nobody in that.
Looks like a new one too.
Yeah. The video, I don't know when we're gonna present him with the truck to know when this is gonna go out. But the reason the 2 car show shorts got put on and no more videos is because we've secretly been working on this. So we can't let him know about it, so we can't show y'all quite yet. So y'all are gonna get to see it right shortly after he gets to see it.
That's right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get this thing off of dolly and back on the ground. Well, made it down with no issues. That was a little sketchy there.
It's finally on its own feet.
There it is.
Down and dirty. It's down and it's dirty.
So what are you thinking about it? Looks good, don't it?
He was told it had a 700R4 in it, which there's a plug-in down there. But here's a 700R4 plug, the wires right here, tied up around the ground wire for the heater fan. There's the plug for the 4L60E.
Well, it's time for the speaker box to get some primer on it.
So I've got to change the transmission out and take the 700R out of it and put a 4L60E in it. So just one more thing has to be done. Plus the exhaust.
Yeah, got to do the exhaust and the transmission once everything else is put back together, I guess.
Yeah.
So our work is not done yet.
No. We're going to get back to work. Let's see what we can get accomplished next.
There it is. I came on out of the paint booth. So we'll let that dry a minute and I'll go in and show you what it looks like. Well, he's got the speaker box primed and we pulled it out of the paint booth. Gonna start sanding on it. So it turned out pretty good. Everything looks pretty slick on it. So we're gonna get started sanding on it now. Alright, you're spraying the white paint on the speaker box now. We'll probably have to put 2 coats on it. Oh, the Bondo and fiberglass work turned out really good on it. Well, we're one step closer to getting the speaker box ready to go in the truck. Got it painted and the paint's drying on it now. The fiberglass and Bondo work turned out really slick on it, so it looks really good. So once this is dry, we'll pull it back out in the shop, get ready to put the speakers in. We've still got to do wiring and install the amp in the truck. So we'll bring y'all back when we start that process.
Hey y'all, we got a package today in the mail from Rockville Audio. UPS, it has plainly stated on the package, don't put it in the rain and it's fragile. Or unless you're drunk and you dropped your wine glass. But anyhow, as you can see, the fragile part of it about went out the window. And it was left in the morning dew this morning in front of the shop with drizzling rain. So somebody can't read. And you can see holes stabbed all in it. So we're going to open this thing up and see just what is remaining of our order. But thanks to Rockville Audio, we use them on several builds we used to do down in Georgia. So this particular build, we ordered them for this so it can match the truck. It'll be blue and black to match the interior. Let's see what we got.
It says on the box that it's a Rockville party pack.
Yeah. How much of a party it's going to be, we'll see. I see it's going to be a party anyhow. Bondo paddles. Woo-hoo.
Is there anything in it?
Alright.
I'll get the camera so we can get close up.
It comes with your RCA jacks, comes with your power cable, it comes with an inline fuse. They didn't sponsor this video, but we've used them, like I said previously, so in other builds. Well, not previously, like a year ago, but several years ago. Got wire coating. You got power cable. It's blue, should be red, but it'll work. Got RCA jacks. Got the remote wire. Got ground wire, and then got speaker wire. It also came with all your connectors. if I can hold on to them, and a fusible link. So this is everything you need to install your stereo system, or to install your subwoofers anyhow. And it comes with a 1200 watt amp. While we're opening it up, might as well open everything up and be done with it. Yeah, they said they was going to send us a complimentary speaker, but I don't think they complimented us with it. Yeah, I'll get it out. That is the gain controller wire. So I guess we got a gain controller somewhere. Whoop, there it went. Yep. Got a gain controller. And instructions if you've never put a stereo in before. But the amp will match the truck.
Nice.
Guess I could have just painted something, but it's easier to do it this way. More fire material. Oh, now what happens next is going to be hard to tell, because I think I'm going to have to do something different here. Well, I'm going to finish what UPS started. They started the destruction, so I'm going to finish it.
Watch that tailgate now. Don't scratch the paint.
Just cut along the perforated edge. Yep, I don't think you received your complimentary gift.
I guess they'll be getting an email. You're supposed to send me a free Bluetooth speaker.
That's what it is, the Bluetooth is not here.
So these speakers come in a box already. We're not going to use the box, we're just using the speakers out of it. It was just cheaper to buy the package this way than it was to buy them alone, so.
There we go. But it is a nice box.
And they were on sale.
If you're looking to put something like this in your vehicle, that's all
nice.
embroidered. And even the side of it's embroidered. So it is a nice looking unit if you use it this way.
That's really nice.
Yep. But
so we've got to see how they sound.
Speakers are going into the speaker box. It's in the truck that we built and painted to match the truck. So they will be coming out of this. And going in ours. So let's get a drill and get started. But we appreciate you, Rockville, for the fast shipping, fast response, and answering the phone. They're available 24/7. So if you have any technical issues or you want to make an order, they're there for you 24 hours a day.
We'll put their website in the description.
Yeah, we'll put a link to them in the description. Like I said, this ain't a sponsored video. We just appreciate what they did for us. But anyhow, well, let's get some tools and get back to the regularly scheduled program.
Well, we got the new speaker box in. He's got one of the speakers out of the Rockville box that we got in today. He's going to put the speaker in now. Still got to put the second one in, get the wiring done, and then hook up the amp and see if it all works. We don't even know if this radio works, do we?
Yeah, this gives me a learning curve all the way around.
If not, you have one you could put in it out of something.
These are not competition speakers by no means, so don't go buy them thinking you're going to go win no audio contest or nothing. These are just speakers just to sound good for the price. kickers it was in here, they get you in trouble. That looks nice.
Well, he's been working on installing the speakers and the amp in the truck, so we'll check out the progress. So where are we at? Other than sitting in the truck.
I'm trying to find somewhere to mount this gain control. This thing sits lower than a chair, so it's real comfortable to work on.
I don't know who would have lowered it.
Me neither.
So did the radio work?
It don't have no control for bass and treble and all, but it's just it'll get by.
Alright, let me show them the speakers first, because I don't think we've videoed that since they've been installed.
Hey, my phone's ringing. You can answer my phone?
I don't have it.
It's ringing, don't you hear it?
I got a cricket on the line and a bottle of shine. Whippoorwill whistling, everything is fine.
Did it sound better than you thought? It did to me.
Yeah.
Which we can't let it play very long because of the copyright for the music, but it does sound good.
But let's get all this carpet put back in here. And like I said, I'm just going to let my wires run down the center of the truck. And in the old truck, he had back in the day, they called them bazooka tubes. And it was sitting right here. And it looked kind of odd. Well, tell you what.
We'll find it.
You pause the video and I'll go get it.
We just came down from going upstairs in the shop. So this is what you went to get. So this is what you said was some people call a bazooka.
Well, some people call them nitrous bottles.
Well, yeah.
But
what
most
is it?
people's nitrous bottles don't have wires coming out of them. And most people's nitrous bottles don't have a speaker in the butt of them.
So are you installing that?
I don't know. But the way it was set before, this was sit right there like that. And it fired into that. But it looked like the truck had nitrous, and then you rest your arm on it. Well, you didn't have to, but you could rest your arm on it.
Well, in this truck, do you still have room for the regular console?
Yeah, rear console.
The one that came in it.
Oh, that thing? Yeah. The edge goes right here. Yeah.
So, guess you got to get to wiring some more.
I don't know if the amp will pull all of them or not. I don't know. That kind of finished the truck off. We was going to put a nitrous sticker right here on top of it, a nitrous express sticker, but we never could find nobody to give us one. So, but anyhow, don't know.
So we'll do some thinking on that. But at least everything works.
Yeah.
On the carpet?
We'll put a carpet in it and get everything cut out and bolted in.
And the fun
'Cause
continues.
I still got to put a transmission in it. And then we got to be in Georgia by
Thursday night.
Thursday of this week.
And today's Sunday.
Yeah.
We haven't met any other deadlines, but we've got to try to meet this one.
Never no rest for the wicked.
Alright, so let's get busy.
Turn down!
Well, here are the seats out of the other S10. This one here, you can see that they were faded from the sunlight from being in the truck. He's already painted this one here using Tulip Color Shot upholstery spray paint. So we've never used this before, so we're trying it out on this. So far it looks good. We only have one can, so we're about to spray this seat next. Let them dry and then we'll put them in the truck. Since we didn't have time to buy or make a tonneau cover for the truck, to make it look finished, went ahead and painted the inside of the bed to make it look a little better for now anyway. It had some old rhino liner or bed liner in it, So we didn't have time to get all that out or have that redone. So just painting it black. He's got the interior seats and everything in the truck.
Well, I'll show them all that when you stand there.
I guess I could. Oh, and he also got the transmission replaced. That's why it's up on jack stands. So, the transmission that was in it didn't have reverse. So he put the correct transmission back in it. Alright, so we put the black and blue seats in there because the seats that were in here were horrible. So we took those out of the other truck. Now they don't match the door panels and everything, but at least they're gonna sit better.
Here's what we had to use.
Still are looking for a headliner. Couldn't find a headliner board to recover. This one didn't have one in it when he got it, so still need one of those. We'll get it put in eventually. So that's how everything's looking at the moment. It looks so much better than it did. So I'm gonna get all this cleaned up. And while he's finishing the paint on the bed. Well, we've went from painting and customizing the S10 over there to customizing the cornhole game. We're gonna create a design for this and get it painted and give that to Devin at his new house. It had some graphics and vinyl and paint already on it, so we're getting all that sanded off now, and we're going to come up with a new design. So we'll show you what we come up with in a few minutes. Never a dull moment around here. We've got the boards in here in the paint booth. They're all sanded, primed, and ready for paint. So we're about to put the first coat of paint on it now. So y'all stay tuned. Okay, well, he's putting the first coat on there. We decided to go ahead and spray it white, and then we're going to decide which type of graphic we're going to put on it next. Something similar to maybe where it'll match the truck, but we don't know yet. We've got to see what kind of vinyl or what kind of paint we've got on hand. So he can just take this to some car shows with him, or he can use it at his new house. He still doesn't know anything about the truck, so we've managed to keep it a secret. Okay, so the paint on the boards have finally dried, and he's made some stickers to go on it. This was something that we had came across that Devin had actually designed and put on a shirt. So we just used his design. Got those printed off this morning. After he puts those on, he is gonna go ahead and clear coat over the top of them. And then we're gonna paint around the outside edges.
Normally I would add water to this. Since I got a clear coat over it, I don't want to add no more contaminants to it than what I just have to. So we're just going to dry it still.
And it says the heartbeat of America, and it's got some pinstriping below it.
We do our own
That's cool.
stickers and all. So if you order, when we get our eBay, our YouTube store open, if you buy shirts or anything, we didn't make our hats. We had these made, but we do make our own shirts. We do make our own stickers.
And Devin makes shirts and hats himself, so.
One day we'll get some stuff put on the channel. For sale. Right now we just have much other things going on.
Now, was there a bow tie that's supposed to be in that too?
I was with the bow tie there at the top.
Oh, I just didn't see it. I didn't know.
Yeah. Was it put a bow tie up there at the top or put a little one right here above that?
Wherever you want to do. Well, he's got the black painted around the outside base of the board. Wiping everything off now, and he's about to spray the clear on it. So that outline around the bottom really makes the white stand out. And matches the design on the front of the board. So I'm gonna get over here and get this dried off so he can get to spraying the clear on. Well, how'd they turn out?
Slick as owls.
Oh my gosh, they look so good. It doesn't look like wood, does it?
Like glass.
That is awesome.
And the opposing team is in blue.
Hopefully the light won't be reflected on them too much so y'all can see them. We may just have to keep these. These are so cool. You like them?
All right.
I do good work, huh? I mean, you. You did an awesome job. That is so cool. We just may have to start selling these things.
No.
Well, there they are, guys. Roxanne 1 and Roxanne the 2nd. So I would give you a side-by-side comparison of them before Roxanne the 2nd heads to Georgia. It turned out really, really good. So I'll show you this one real quick before we put it back over here in the lineup, and we're gonna get over here and get Roxanne the 2nd loaded up so we can take it to Georgia to give it to Devin. So we hope you love it, Devin, and I know you're gonna be shocked when you see it.
Let's go. Right, here's it again. We beat you here.
Well, here's Devin pulling into his new house. Woohoo! He's like,
What you think?
do I have to get out now? You're on camera.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, he's
You want this, the future.
all right.
Cool beans.
Now y'all can go in.
Was
the
it
AC.
hard? Was it hard?
Yeah, my wrist is wore out.
Signing your life away. Yeah. Don't you know?
Tell your mama what you want to do with the shutters and stuff in the door. She wanted to hear about it.
So what were you gonna do?
Change the color?
You're just gonna paint it?
Paint the shutters?
He's got some big plans for his new house already.
I'm painting them brown.
Paint them brown.
No, you're not.
Hey, listen to what you gotta listen to at your neighbors.
See it.
What is that?
Surprise!
How?
Devin, take your glasses off. What's it?
How?
Well, you missed the mini truck nationals because we had to paint it twice. And you got your cornhole board.
I feel like I'm 15 again. Oh my god. Where'd you get the tail lights and all? What?
And you got your matching cornhole boards.
You got the most expensive set of cornhole boards around. Because they're painted with automotive paint. So here, we'll get that one out. Your mama can video you between both of them.
This is a lot.
Oh no, I'm speechless. I can't talk. We used your design, as you can tell. I had to figure out how to go on there and do that.
Still need
So 2 surprises in one day. New house, new truck. But wait, that's not all.
You need to cut the camera off.
I got to show you this first. You got to come look at this. And then I'll turn the camera off. Okay, take a look inside.
I'll get Randy to help you.
That's brand new. Made just like the old one. Now we didn't get to finish the interior. We couldn't find a headliner board for it.
I mean, my carpet, my seats.
But your daddy rebuilt that speaker box using the top of the old speaker box that was busted.
I've got stuff in the car though, too, up in my front seat. And I got waters in the back, but I do have Cokes and stuff there, and I got water in the back. That'll help some.
All right, so I'll turn the camera off now.
Do that so I can go cry.
Y'all so cute.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I don't care about the house anymore.
No.
I'm just drive around.
Well, go take it. It's insured. Did you notice?
You just had to drive it in second gear because the overdrive ain't shifting. I got to do something with ECU.
One more thing. Did you look at the bumper on the back?
It's welded to the truck. It's part of the truck, and I Frenched it in to make it look like the other one did.
So the bumper's off, and he's
I noticed.
fixed that in there for you.
Be very careful because that's welded. So if you hit anything, it's going to tear up all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. The last one I just had to screw back into place. Every time I hit something.
That's when I sat down on it. It was easier to sit down as it was to climb on it.
Okay, I'm going for a ride.
All right.
You want to go for a ride with the camera?
Go around me.
You want a video, Miranda, as y'all go?
Down a second and make it secure.
Let me have you drink.
It's still going now, so
Perfect.
as long as that red light's blinking.
Would you rather? It's a good day.
Feel like a kid again.
That's a good thing. It's okay to feel like a kid again. Mm-hmm.
Y'all go. No, he's not moving.
I ain't worried about the house.
Yeah, we know.
I ain't even worried about
He's like, I've seen the house. I haven't seen this in a long time.
Got it. It's already unlocked.
Woohoo! Welcome home.
He's sweating. I'm an
Thanks for watching.